Everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 Hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant based diet going for yourself today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and to get with alkalinity, then you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically, set attention to your mind, and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So today I want to talk about being at one and being a part of the universe, and through understanding the part which is understanding yourself, coming to dissolve in the whole, right? So let's get into this. um, so we're all parts of God, right? Where it is right now, um, we are kind of on the cusp of fragmentation, consciousness, and complete unity consciousness, right? There's a lot of people who are in unity consciousness, cosmic conscious. There's a lot of people who are still in a fragmentary consciousness, right? So we're one with source, the source of creation. We were at one with this source, right? And there had to come a fragmentation that needed to take place. So this fragmentation took place. This is when we were completely unified in our awareness, right? And the fragmentation happened, and this pretty much has us. This pretty much had us come into a fragmentation, right, of awareness. So we weren't, from that point on, we were no longer unified with God or source of creation. More so, we kind of split up into pieces, right? And we went through a whole densifying process as well. We as beings used to be a lot subtler in vibration, to the point of near non-existence, right? Um, so in order for there to have been a transversal experiment to take place, then that unified consciousness need to split up, right? So that there could have been an existing world. Um, and this is where we are now. We're densified, um, and we're living in the physical, or not the physical, but a world that is supposed to exist, right? In the non-existent, which is coming back into a unity consciousness. The more you align with what actually is, with oneness, you come into a noneness. You come into a non-existential um, being or non-being, and from here you can experience deeper states of unification with God, right, or the source of creation. It's the same exact thing. Um, so we're currently heading back into that unification consciousness, or that unity consciousness, or that cosmic consciousness, um, universally, right? Or collectively, or globally, we're heading back into that. So right now, there's a lot of people who are already within the unity consciousness. There's a lot of people who never left it. There's a lot of people who did leave it, identified, and fell deep into fragmentation. Um, and where it is right now, currently, we're kind of settling our energies up again and ascending into higher vibrational states. So this is the rise of divine femininity, right? The divine feminine energy, the kundalini energy of the earth is fluctuating and it's moving. The inhabitants of the earth are picking up on this. Our kundalini is moving, is ascending naturally. There's a lot going on, right? The earth is heading straight towards the center of the Milky Way, where the heightens of energy is going to come to a crescendo um, in like 10,000 years or so, right? So we're within that ascension of that period, and within that, the fragmentation consciousness, it comes back into a unity consciousness. So within that period, we're going to be able to unify with the source of creation once again, right? We're going to be able to collectively, universally be in a cosmic consciousness or universal consciousness. And the most important thing is to just flow into it, right? Because there's no escaping it, because there's nothing to escape, right? There's nothing to escape because you don't actually exist. And the whole illusion of existence was just to was just for expansion, right? For God to kind of expand, for God to come into resonance with himself from a nothingness or a state of nothingness, right? Which is where it's going again. The more that we begin to ascend and align back into perfection or unity consciousness, the more that we're going to come into a cessation of being, right? So this is what is needed. And this always happens. It's cyclical, right? Some people can actually break into their past experiences eons back and kind of get their experiences right. And they can do this because it's all cycles, and if you understand the various different cosmic cycles that are in place through resonating with the cosmic waves, which are easily accessible uh, with intention, then you can literally pick up on that very same encoding, and you can dive into that encoding, and you can kind of pick up on information that allows you to transcend the current space and time that you think you are occupying, which you're not actually occupying this current space and time. Um, you're first of all non-existing, because that's what is needed in order for existence to come into fruition or conception. So there needs to be a toroidal canvas of some sort in order for there to be dimension and conception, which is what is currently in fluctuation, right? So you you're not only occupying this current space and time continuum, but the entirety of the multiverse that can be expanded into through the mind, right? And then beyond that, which is cessation of being, which is even more than the expansion into all that is, right? Or less, because it's not anything. Um, but coming into the unity consciousness is something that is universally happening, or at the very least globally happening, and it's something that everybody is picking up on, because this is something that is universally canonical. This is something that is always going to happen cyclically, and this is the awakening, right? This is the awakening process. This is dissolving into God. This is merging into the source of creation once again, because we were once already one with God at one time, or one continuum or whatever you want to call it. I don't have the word for it. Uh, but then a fragmentation occurred once again. So a lot of people are left fragmented from God, or they have that feeling of separateness from everything, because that's the fragmentation of awareness, right? So coming back into it is slowly happening for everybody globally, and what you can do for one, the most simplest thing that you can do for yourself is to just let yourself flow into the cosmic waves, right? So you got to really feel cosmic waves. Try to catch some stillness, try to catch some silence, connect yourself with the earth's electromagnetic field, and then you could connect yourself further with the cosmic waves, um, and feel out the golden mean logarithmic spiralings that pretty much can be used to traverse the entire holographic matrix, right? And once you're able to get into that, really feel it, then you can literally travel the entire universe hyperspatially, right? This is very, very, very necessary because it allows you to break into a hyper harmoniousness, and that harmonious state is going to allow you to accelerate that whole process of unification, right, with God or with the source of creation. Um, so if you're fragmented and you want to accelerate the process of unity, it's going to happen anyway to everybody, and it's going to happen it's going to happen anyway to everybody, right? So if you want to accelerate it, you you fix yourself consciously intent uh, on the source, right? There's a lot of systems that are trying to disconnect people from the source, uh, like the cutting of the trees, um, and things like this, because the trees are one of these sources of our connecting to the source. So the trees actually connect us to the source of creation, right? So without trees, we can't actually connect with the source, and we kind of fall into a disconnected state. So this is why there's a lot of warfare on like the organic life, right? Because the organic life is here to sustain our connection with the source of creation, so that we can continue creating from the source, right? In a Christ consciousness or a unity consciousness or a cosmic consciousness. But there's plenty of systems that are also destroying the organic life, which is supposed to be connecting us to the source. So in destroying that organic life, for example, like the trees, they're also disconnecting us from the source of creation, and we no longer can connect. So we fall into deeper and deeper states of separation, right? And then we kind of fall into false identities, and we continue to densify in lower and lower dimensions of existence. Um, but you can get past all that. You can get past all that by going within yourself, for one, and accelerating the process of coming back into unity consciousness, right? Which you do through connecting with the cosmic waves. You connect with the cosmic waves by connecting yourself to Mother Earth, resonating with the electromagnetic field, which you don't actually do, but it just happens if you go outside, and connect yourself with the earth. Um, then you can connect with the rest of the universe, right? So all you gotta do is really spend more time in nature, um, and enjoy the time that you got here on the earth, because it's just um, a temporary experience until you're off to the next star system or another planet, right? Because you're just reincarnating. You can decide whether you reincarnate here on the earth again plenty of times over to learn, or you can choose to go to another star system, um, where you can, you know, exist on another planet or on another star system to learn over there, right? So just you enjoy the time here before is universally aware again. Awareness, universal awareness comes to fruition once again. But it can be found most definitely in individuals because it's never lost, and this is needed to keep the balance during such times of being in fragmentation, right? So you can always find like that. You can always find the person uh, who is no longer a person, you know, because they're no longer an ego. They've dissolved it away completely. And this is like Christ, Buddha, some of these holier figures that you see are being talked about because of this sort of thing, right? They can connect us back to the source of creation. This is why they're very holy. They're at whole, right? They're whole with themselves. They're at one wholeness with the source of creation, zero, one whole, right? Nothingness. So this is why these figures are pushed so much to follow, right? So you can connect yourself through them uh, and dissolve away the ego. So you can actually become whole to yourself, right? If you need to um, see yourself as a part of existence, right? Because you're a part, and this is what your consciousness is fixated on. But the more that you observe the part, right, and the deeper that you observe the part, which is you, because you consider yourself a part of God, right? The more you observe the part of God, which is yourself, so you fixate your awareness within yourself and continue that, uh, you slowly dissolve away in the whole, which is the part, because the part is just a fragment of the whole, fractal, right? So you dissolve away into the part, which is yourself, and you slowly become the whole, right? The whole universe. So you can slowly dissolve away the ego through observing yourself within yourself more often, right? So you do that, and it can accelerate that whole process of dissolving into unity consciousness, which is happening anyway, right? So you can either do that or you don't have to do that at all because it's going to happen anyway. Um, so dissolve into the whole and come back into unity consciousness, right? So that's going to be it for today's video. I do thank everybody for watching once again. Peace out, one love, and have a great evening.